Hello people, welcome back to another video, and in this one we're going to be looking at a channel, Marshall Brockway, and the title is Women Live in a World That Doesn't Exist. And I think that we can all agree that the modern woman is insufferable. I think a lot of guys can realistically be real with themselves and say, not all men, but I think most men, and especially the ones that women don't go for, or there's a big majority of men that women don't even entertain because they don't fit their demands. But I think a lot of men can sit back and say, yeah, I was maybe romantic when I was younger. I was very loving, and I did want to cherish and care for a woman and create a bond with her and, love her for the rest of my life. But you end up getting enough experience and seeing enough of the ugly side of women that it just kills it. And I think that's why the men who've not got experience with women pine for it, they lust for it, because they have been sold this dream that women are these kind little creatures and they're just so amazing and they're sugar and spice and all things nice and you can live happily ever after with them. But I think that the men that the women are going for today have got enough experience with the women to know that they are just trash, and that is what the way they should be treated, because these women are so far removed from reality that they are just complete and utter demonic, self-centered little gold diggers. And once a man understands that most women are self-serving, they've got at least two personalities, and the demands are through the roof. You can never make them happy. Once these good-looking guys, or men with money who can get the women, and just men in general who can get women, they don't take women too seriously, and they understand that these women are not what they are portrayed to be. So this is why you hear these women saying, "All men are trash, blah blah blah. Where are all the good men? No men are approaching me. Poor me, poor me." And they'll never look at how they act. It's always the man's fault. You notice that? Always the man's fault. No, it's the woman's fault, because the guys that you ignore, that's why they simp for you, because they think that, oh, women are sugar and spice and all things nice. Maybe he's look great on the outside, but on the inside he's a rotten to the core. The most women are rotten to the core and self-serving. And like I said, the guys who have experience are like, no thanks, I'll smash and dash. That's your lot.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm at the point where I can't listen to women anymore. I've been watching these videos recently of all these women complaining that men don't approach them anymore. Men aren't making the first move. They're not initiating anything. Men aren't attending like singles events at all. They're not going on dates. They're not taking them on second dates. If they take them on a first one, they're not paying for dates. And all these women take to social media to complain about men and how they're not doing this and they're not doing that. They're not approaching. They don't make enough money. Their energy's not great. They're not tall enough. They're not good looking enough. They don't say the right things. They're not understanding enough. They didn't listen enough. They didn't drive a nice enough car. They didn't pay for the date. They didn't pay enough for it. They didn't take her to a nice enough spot. They didn't catch her eye signals. Oh, I looked at him in the gym and he just kept on with his workout.
So I think we can all agree that is the same nonsense we hear time and time again. These women just complain and complain and complain, and it's all through the lens of utter delusion.
They have all these complaints about men as if we're listening anymore. They live in a world that doesn't exist, bro. women live in a world that doesn't exist. They're still thinking that men care what they want. That's no longer what's happening. Men no longer are listening to what you want. Because when we listen, things get worse. You can't listen to a woman. Things get worse. Things always seems to get more chaotic, to erode, to rot. Things get all sorts of all over the place. And women are still living in this world where they think that they can make demands or have expectations or have requirements or standards when they're literally trash inside. It's like trash doesn't get to have standards. Trash gets to accept trash, as far as I'm concerned. You look good, but as soon as men get their lust under control and we start retaining our seed, then that really don't mean anything anymore. As far as all of us who are retaining our seed see you, you're trash. And so trash don't get to make demands, don't get to have standards or requirements. Trash can date trash, as far as I'm concerned. And most of these women who look incredible inside, they are trash. So therefore they can get trash. But they just don't see this.
Women's biggest flaw: accountability and self-reflection. And that's why we're living in the environment that we're living in.
Aren't we to the point where we have understood that this doesn't get better by listening to women? We've listened to women long enough, haven't we, boys? I think we've listened to women long enough. We've listened to them for years, for decades, for centuries, actually. With every passing decade, for the last 500 years, men have only listened to women more. And things are worse than ever. We're listening to women at an all-time high. And men and women effectively hate each other. Coincidence? I think not. I mean, that's really all that you have to look at. I'm to the point where when a woman opens her mouth, the feminine mind drivel, poison that starts to ooze out of her mouth. My brain just I don't want to hear it. Forget listening to it. I don't want to hear it. I tune it out.
The reason being, primarily, women's only way to control men is manipulation. And that's what women operate on for the most part: manipulation and self-serving. So at the end of the day, men are logical, and that's how they can care and love and form a bond. But women are only able to care about themselves because they come from a point of manipulation. A manipulator will never care about you. They'll never truly be able to form a real bond, and that's my opinion.
We're going to tune out anything of what you guys say that you want. Because all of it is only a method to gain more power. Only a method to emasculate men more. Only a method to confuse men more. Women want us to think that we need to somehow meet all these requirements for them. They've even gotten into the heads of all these alpha male channels. The biggest channels that abound are telling men what to do to get women, what you need to be like to get women, how to understand women, what you should do to understand her more. If she does this, this is what this means. If she says that, this is what that means. You need to do this if she does that. You need to do this, blah, 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 blah. And it's all with the goal, the underlying goal of all this, even if the behaviors are what's considered a masculine. Oh, just act nonchalant. Oh, act like you don't care. Oh, make six figures. Oh, have six-pack abs. Oh, do all this stuff. Oh, have great energy. Oh, be powerful and strong and firm, and yet, but be detached. All this stuff that they tell you. It's all with the intention, the desire to keep and attract women. That's insane. That's insane because that's the least masculine thing of all.
Yeah, bowing down to women, running about pleasing them, bending this way, that way, and bending over backwards just to keep them happy. No. The fundamental thing that if you're a man and you've dealt with enough women, you know they are never, ever happy. They're a bottomless pit of greed and need. That is all women are. So that's why I see his point here. It's like, why are we pandering to make women happy? Just look at them.
The intention to keep and attract a woman is the least masculine thing of all. And this is what women who get on these videos still don't, they still yet don't understand this. They're not there yet. They're not even close to there. They live in a world that don't exist, bro. They live in la la fairy tale dreamland female world.
And just to give you an example of how manipulative they are, when you first meet a woman, everything's great. Oh, she's so nice, couldn't be nicer. You feel like you're in heaven. It's euphoric. Oh, I found the one. And then once she knows she's got you hooked emotionally, that is when she shows her real self, and that is when the manipulation starts. That's when the problem starts. So I do believe that once a woman knows that you have fell for her, and you love her, and you want to bond with her, that is when the manipulation starts. And that's where your hell begins as a man. Always remember that.
But they still don't understand that men no longer care what they want. That's the whole thing. So you getting on your TikTok, on your Instagram, on your Snapchat, and complaining about all these things that men are and men aren't, and they're not doing this and they're not doing that. You understand that you're missing the very nature of a man. You're missing the most fundamental aspect of a man, of masculinity, which is masculine don't care. Masculine don't bend. It don't acquiesce. It don't succumb. It don't care what you want. It don't care what the feminine wants, because the feminine don't know what it wants. How would the masculine care what the feminine wants if the feminine don't even know what it wants? The feminine don't even see that it don't know what it wants. Only the masculine can see that. The feminine's too chaotic to see that everything that comes out of its mouth, everything that it thinks that it wants, it contradicts in the next sentence, or the next sentence, or the very next day. It is in constant flux. There is no logical rhyme or reason to it. There is no set point. The whole purpose of the feminine is to test and confuse and to be a check on the masculine objectiveness. It is a form of punishment to the masculine. If the masculine is not as set and as powerful and as resting in its true nature as it should be.
Yeah, so basically that's where masculine frame comes in. So if you've heard the term masculine frame, that's what it means. That man has his purpose, he has his boundaries, and he cannot be bent and he cannot be broken, and he will not be moved. He does what he wants to do. If the woman likes him enough, she can follow and take his lead. Any other dynamic than that, it's a woman manipulating you. So that women are primarily designed to test, bend, break and push men to their limit, and they will constantly do it just to make sure you are a man. And as soon as you come out of that masculine frame and you start pandering and catering to her and being all, okay babe, are you okay babe, all this crap, no, that is when they know they've got you over a barrel. And that is, like I said, once a woman knows that you have fell for her and she sees that you're starting, she can basically control you through emotions, that is when she starts to manipulate you, and that is when she'll unleash hell on you, because primarily she's going to punish you because you're not a man. As soon as you stop acting like a man, as soon as you start listening to that woman and you come out of your frame and you stop doing what you want to do, she will punish you because she's no respect for you. Doesn't matter how nice you are to her. Primarily, she does not see you as a man. You need to be a man on a purpose, a man who knows what he wants and doesn't. And if a woman's saying, "But you're not giving me enough time," well, tough. You don't like it, I've got stuff to do, that's it. You either accept it or you bounce, you see?
If it starts to weaken a bit, the feminine's there to punish it. That's the role of the feminine. The role of the feminine is to gaslight and mirror and deceive, and it's not necessarily an evil thing. Women are not evil, it's just they are a necessary check to keep us who we are.
It's a primal design to make sure that they are dealing with the manliest man, you see. So that's why monkey branching and hypergamy is rife, because women have got more options than ever, and basically they've got so many men that they can go through and test, and then that's why they're attracted to the guys who do not bend and break for them, and the men who stay doing what they want to do and only have a certain amount of time for them and then tell them to bounce. That's why women respect that, love that and pine for it. But that's why they walk all over the top of men who pander to them and worship the ground that they walk on. Women are designed to test men. You know, that is what they are. They need to know that they are with the best man. So that is their design by nature. And like he's saying, it's not necessarily evil, but right now it's out of balance that much that I believe it can be classed as just insanity, evil, delusion, whatever you want. I wouldn't say you were crazy for saying that.
Masculinity wouldn't stay masculinity if there wasn't a price, there wasn't a heavy cost and consequence to losing it. To believing the feminine, to believing the chaos, to be buying into it, to be buying into, what the feminine wants, as if there is such a thing. As if there is such a thing. There's not. That's the whole point. That's the whole point, that you have to see that. You have to see that there is no thing that the feminine wants. Oh, you just give it. Oh, you just give a woman this and she's, oh, great, content. No such thing. It don't exist.
That's why they're never happy. You could run to the ends of the earth for a woman and she still won't be happy. So that's why you do what you want to do, you do what you need to do, and if they like you enough, they'll tag along. Don't listen to a woman, don't let a woman boss you about, don't let a woman narrate your life, tell you that you need to do this, need to do that. No. You are the man, you are the leader, you're at the forefront of life. She follows you.
Women, we might not like their nature, but they serve a purpose. They serve this vital function of ensuring that men stay absolutely as masculine as possible, because when you move away from it, everything starts to devolve. Everything starts to disintegrate, to lose sense, to lose form. And women thrive in those environments. The feminine thrives in those environments. These videos that I watch of women making their heads completely in the clouds, completely delusional, oblivious, they're making videos saying exactly the same things that men say about women. We're saying that they're trash, because they actually are. That they have all these requirements. They're so entitled, when they're bringing absolutely zero to the table aside from C cups and an ass that looks impeccable in yoga pants. Other than that, they're an absolute spawn of Lucifer. We're saying this. Women, they must be seeing this stuff that we're doing, and then they mirror it to deceive us. They want to play with our minds, and so they start saying things like, oh, men are trash. Oh, men are faking it. Oh, men don't have this or that. They're all just garbage inside. Oh, they might have money, blah, 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 blah. You need to detach. You need to vet them. You need to do all this stuff, bitch.
An example, i.e., that they're saying all men are trash. Meanwhile, they'll sit, make TikTok after TikTok, Instagram after Instagram, saying, where are all the men? I just can't date. It's like I'm on a lonely island and nobody wants me and I'm not compatible with anybody. Meanwhile, I guarantee you, every single chick that's ever made one of these videos have got at least 10 men in their DMs who they completely ignore because they're not tall enough, they're not rich enough, etc. So that is how insane they are, and it shows you that they're never happy and they're delusional. You see?
We see what you're doing. This is gaslighting on an 1,000 level. And because we're retaining our seed, you need to be retaining your seed if you're a man, in my opinion. You have to be retaining your seed, because you start to see this stuff. This feminist hellhole matrix starts to crumble. And you start to see what women are really doing. You start to see who they actually are. You start to look past their flesh, look past their face. And it's horrifying. And the whole thing that women are going to try to do for the rest of your life is they're going to try to convince you. They won't even know that they're doing it. It's literally innate in them. They do it automatically. They don't even know that they're doing it. They're too chaotic to see what's going on. They're going to try to convince you through all their methods: flattery, guilt, shame, absence, sex, withholdance of sex, all these different things, disrespect. They're going to try to get you to start buying into what they're saying, believing them. They're going to try to get you to start giving them a little more power, and a little more power, and a little more power. Before you know it, it's slow, bro. It's slow. It doesn't happen overnight. You barely know that it's happening. That's how all these men get.
The way I view women is, if you were to put it in as an analogy, they are literally like somebody, it's like they're standing with an axe and they constantly have to chip away at you like you're the tree. So the man's the tree and they're constantly trying to chip away at it with an axe just to see how strong you are. And they just can't help themselves but keep on chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping away at you. They just cannot stop, like, attacking your masculinity. That is what I see and many men see.
Fooled and deceived because it happens slowly. It happens incrementally. It happens just a little bit at a time. And that's what these women will do. That's their whole function. That's their whole purpose. It's like, oh no, there's good women. Even the good women, bro. Even the good women have to test. They have to make sure that the man that they're with is who he is, is as strong as he purports himself to be, as she believes that he is. It never ends. But I think that the current state of women that they are currently, we can't listen to any of them anymore. We have to stop listening to them. You have to notice, you have to feel that the moment a female starts to open her mouth nowadays, you're just like, ugh. It don't matter what they're saying. Anything, bro. Anything. These females today, they're so demonic, they're so rotten to the core, that anything that they're saying, especially in regards to wanting things from men, or if things should be this or things should be that, you're in no place to make demands. You're lucky that you're even in this position in society. You're the most fortunate women in the history of the species. You're the most free women in the history of the species. You're the most powerful women in the history of the species. And you're all atrocious. Does this not clue you in? That maybe,
yeah, and it's the fact that we've allowed them to stray so far from the masculine frame. Like he's saying, we've given them way too much power, way too much freedom, and look at the result. That's why women need men to keep them in line. And that's why the classic saying, go make me a sandwich. Women, as soon as women came out of the kitchen, that's when the problem started.
power in your hands is a very bad idea. And maybe this whole...
You're a misogynist. You're a chauvinistic pig. Deal with it.
thing, giving you guys more freedom, giving you guys all this stuff, treating you guys like royalty, all this chivalry, was just a terrible idea. The court system in your favor, the media system in your favor, the entertainment system in your favor, the political, the whole system is in their favor. And for this reason, we should stop listening to them. We should stay away from them. Retain our seed. And it'll all take care of itself. I think it'll just all take care of itself.
Yeah, because if men reject this modern woman, they'll all have to turn lesbian. Because it's going to get to a point, right now, as we are right now, if women do not improve, men are just getting more and more wiser by the day. And if they keep going the way they're going to get worse and worse. Men are going to get wiser and wiser, and women are going to be lonelier and lonelier. That's the reality.
Consequence is what they need.
And women need men more than men need women. Facts. A man can happily do his own thing and be in his own purpose. Women need attention, validation, likes, this, that, need to be catered for. Poor me, I'm not getting enough attention. Trust me, men will not need women in the future. Women will need men.
They don't need requirements or standards. They don't need this from a man or that from a man. What you need is consequence. What you need to feel is absolute consequence for who you are, for who you have become, for all the things that you are not. That's what you need to feel. You need to feel consequence.
And I think what we're seeing as well is that that is actually happening, because I don't know about you, but I've seen it a lot. Women putting up videos, and it seems to be a viral trend that there's like dating nights set up, like for men and women, and it's always women that turn up. No men turn up because men are done. You know, it's like women need to realise that unless you change, you are not going to have a good life. You'll just get ran through. You'll end up with an axe wound for a little, what we call it, coochie. It'll end up like an axe wound. No man will find you attractive. You'll be full of trauma, full of damage, full of baggage. You'll have all different types of baby daddies, and that'll be your life. And you'll just end up drinking wine and sitting with cats.
Absolute consequence. Something that these women have never felt in their entire life. Welcome to consequence, bitch. It's the jungle. Welcome. These women are trash.
Yup.
I'm done with them. I think I've said enough.
Yeah, let's have a look at a few comments. Look at this. Bro, I'm 6 foot, 6-pack, clean cut, not the best looking, not the worst, decent money, enough to pay the bills. Basically he's saying he's got everything that they're really asking for, right? And I've done a lot of work on myself, still not perfect, but I'm a good honest dude. I've come across 2 decent women in 7 years of dating. I've done approaching online, you name it. I thought I was doing something wrong before I found YouTube. I'm convinced now it's not me. Women are wild, bro. Good luck, fellas. Just ignore them. It's what they hate the most. Yep. Women's ultimate need is attention, because I believe they are narcissistic by nature, just how they're designed. That's my opinion. Because women need attention, and that's why they're never happy. And if you know about narcissism, or you look it up, it's somebody who doesn't have a healthy emotional regularity system. So like they are not able to be content. They're like a bottomless pit that constantly needs attention, constantly needs validation, constantly needs stuff to stimulate them, chaos, drama, whatever. You see? My dad died a year ago and told me when I was young, you can't make a woman happy. You can't. They're a bottomless pit of greed and need. He was married 49 years and I see it now. Women want 3 things: attention, more, and something else. They are hot garbage, absolute disappointments, a lot of them, offended by everything and ashamed of nothing. Women. Yep, so we get the point. Guys are wising up, and women, if you're listening, you better be careful, because once men wake up to this, we are logical and a lot smarter than you, and can think of a lot better strategies to deal with you. So you may have been using our lust and testosterone against us, but like this guy says, once we can actually see how the game is rigged and you're using that against us, and we see past the skin beauty and we see deeper inside and understand how you work collectively as men, you're done. So your time is ticking. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Change or lose. Simple. Until the next time, take it easy and peace.